Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Loser Club. Today I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to look at what I would class as some classic TV and films. Something that for a lot of you might feel quite nostalgic, but for a lot of you might be completely new, something you've never seen before or heard of. Especially you younger people that just aren't quite as cultured as the rest of us.
I can't believe you've done this.
Right. Let's get into it. Firstly, I'm going to start off with a series of films that is on Netflix and also on Amazon Prime for a limited time. That is the Oceans film series, Oceans 11, Oceans 12 and Oceans 13. Famously starring people like George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon and lots of others. Essentially, the point of the film is Danny Ocean, who is played by George Clooney, recently got out of prison in the first film. He decides he's going to get a team together who are going to rob the biggest casino in Las Vegas, the Bellagio. Naturally, it doesn't go as easy as you think it's going to go, but it's a brilliant film. It's so funny the whole way through. All of the actors do an absolutely fantastic job in it. Don Cheadle's Cockney accent maybe isn't so great, but obviously if it's something you've never seen before, absolute must watch. And obviously if you have seen it before, what's the harm in watching it again? The second film, Oceans 12, not great, but Oceans 13 again is a really good film. I think Oceans 13 might be my favourite of the three actually. So instead of just the regular one that I would recommend, you've now got a trilogy to watch there that'll keep you going for a while. So the next thing I'm going to recommend is a series on Netflix called Gilmore Girls. Now this is the third time I am watching the programme. And it's bringing back so many memories of the first couple of times. It is a fantastic, timeless program. It is hilarious, it's beautifully written and well done. The characters are fantastic and it is well worth a watch. Essentially, the premise of the program is that it is a mother and daughter relationship. The mother, Lorelai Gilmore, had Rory, her daughter, when she was 16 years old. She lived originally in a place called Hertfordshire in America, very expensive, rich place. She didn't like her life at all. Her mum and dad were quite controlling, so she decided that when she was having the child, she needed to just leave, and she ended up in a place called Stars Hollow. Here she got a job working at an inn, and 16 years on, she is now running the inn. It's a very light and easy thing to watch. It is really about relationships rather than anything else, and it is all very much centered around that one place. But I cannot recommend this program enough. It is absolutely beautifully done, and it is one of my favorite programs of all time. The final thing that I want to suggest is a series on Amazon Prime called Ugly Betty. Now this is an incredibly nostalgic program for a lot of people. When I was growing up, it was a big hit in my house, but it is a brilliant program, but it is so funny and it is such a great idea for a program. The premise of the program is a woman called Betty Suarez wants to get a job in journalism. She wants to be a writer, but a lot of the time she's being turned away because of the way that she looks. Eventually, she gets a job as an assistant to the man in charge of a fashion magazine called Mode. Now, the reason she gets hired is because Daniel, who's in charge of Mode, is very well known for sleeping with a lot of his assistants. So his dad, who owns the company, decides that he's going to hire someone who he thinks that his son won't sleep with. Now, obviously, a lot of the jokes go around the fact that, you know, she is not supposed to be an attractive woman with no fashion sense, but she is working at a fashion magazine. But it is so good and it's so worth the watch, especially if you've never seen it before. I suggest this is a time to go back and watch something like this because there's a lot of series to get through as well, so it'll keep you going for a long time. Side note, now I understand not everybody has all the time in the world to sit around watching TV and films all day. Sometimes you've got housework to do, you want to go out and exercise, things like that. So I'm going to recommend something that you can listen to while you're doing these jobs as well, and that is a podcast called Don't Tell Your Mum. Obviously this podcast is aimed at dads really, however I think it really is for anybody. I'm not a dad and I think it is hilarious. The two guys that run it, JK and Al, come up with some great topics, and it is just a really nice, easy listening thing to kind of get you through rather than just listening to music or sat around doing nothing. Okay, that's it for today. As always, if you like the video, please like and subscribe below. If you have any recommendations that you want to recommend, feel free to comment or message me, and I'll see if we can fit it into another episode later on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.